new battle here against Yummbunnies, and yeah, we're gonna get this started. Instant replay. So he leads off with an Entei, I lead off with my Sandslash, and he flame charges, it does nothing. I'm just gonna set up some Stealth Rocks here. And with that, I'm going to just stay in because he can't really do anything against me. Flare Blitz does a lot, but I'm able to take him out after the recoil and life orb damage with an Earthquake. So now he's going to send in his Sceptile, and I'm going to get out of there because I can't really do anything against it. My Balls comes in and takes the Hidden Power really well, and just is going to stay in and go for Hidden Power Fire because this Lantern probably has Volt Absorb, and I don't want to give it any fucking electrical attack raises or whatever it does. So I go into Meganium and take that Volt Switch really well, and he goes into his Mandibuzz, and I'm like, shit, it's gonna kill me with the Flying type move. So I get out of there, go into Magneton again, who is immune to a Toxic. And with that, I'm just gonna go for another Hidden Power Fire because his Lantern's probably gonna come in again, and it doesn't do that much, but it's slowly whittling this guy down, and with rocks. So yeah, I go into Meganium on the Volt Switch again, and Meganium gets, oh no, Thunder Wave I mean, and I get paralyzed, which kind of sucks, but yeah. I still take the Volt Switch really nicely, and his Clefable comes in, and I just go for a Toxic, and I miss it, and yeah. And the Para Hacks in this is bullshit against Meganium, because poor Meganium, like, dies. Not really, just Para Hacks is gay against him. So I go into Primeape, scare him off, and he hits me with an Ice Beam. It does a lot because Primeape isn't that defensive. I hit a U-turn on this Lantern, and I go into Dickweed, who I'm trying to get like an Aromatherapy off, and his Ice Beam does not that much because Dickweed is a defensive monster. So Dickweed's chilling. I'm going to go out into my Balls because he resists the Volt Switch too. He doesn't take it as well as Meganium, but he still takes it really well. He goes into his Cling Clang thingy, and yeah. So I'm going to stay in because I've got the Steel Killer fucking Magneton, and I go for a Hidden Power Fire. It's a 2-hit KO, and even his Gear Grind is going to do like nothing to me. It does 14 damage all up, and the next Hidden Power Fire ends this Cling, whatever it is. So he goes back into his Lantern, and I'm like, alright, I can take him out with like 2 Hidden Power Fires. He goes for a Scald, it almost takes me out. I'm like, alright, the next one's going to take it out, but no, it doesn't. It lives with 5 HP, like, well, barely lives it, basically. 11 HP after leftovers, and I go into Primeape to scare it, like, just to go, you know, do damage to whatever. So I U-turn out and go into Meganium, who is a really safe switch, because his team can't really do that much to Meganium. Like, he can try and Toxic me, but it fails because it misses, or I don't know, something like that. I get the Para Hacks again because I try and go for Aromatherapy. He U-turns, it does 21%, which is not that much at all. He goes into his Clefable, his own like Stally kind of thing, and I get a Toxic off on that, which is kind of cool, but yeah. So now I want to go for Aromatherapy to get off my Para Hacks on my, just Paralyze on it. He goes for a Ice Beam, and that does 21%, and I think I just stay in and keep going for Aromatherapy or Leech Seed. Yeah, Leech Seed him and get some more health back so I can revive some more Ice Beams, and yeah, annoying, and just put more damage on that guy. So I go for Aromatherapy, I think, and I get it, I do. So now he has no Para Hacks, Paralyze, you know, all that shit. And then I switch out into Dusknoir on his Sceptile. I take the Hidden Power pretty well, and I'm sitting in here, and he brings out his Mandibuzz. I'm like, I can't really do anything against it. I get a burn on it, which is, well, I failed the first one. I think I get it on the second try, and that's kind of okay. No, I just switch out into Knuckles, because I'm like, oh, let's see how much a Stone Age does, and Stone Age doesn't do that much to him, and he roosts anyway, making it do even less. It does 14 damage when he's not part Flying type, when he's just Dark type. So he tries to Toxic me, but I'm already poisoned. I'm just going to stay in and let this guy die. 25% with the Flying type. It's still nothing because Knuckles isn't really invested in attack. Like, he's not really an offensive Sandslash. He's more of, he just sets up rocks and can do some random shit, like defensive wall a bit and stuff. So he U-turns out, kills me, goes into his Sceptile. I go into Primeape to scare him for the U-turn. I don't know if he thought he'd outspeed, but I'm scarfed, so yeah. I go into Absol, who really doesn't do anything in this match, just to show him I have it, I guess, because Absol never got shown in that match apart from that part. So I get Toxic on my Dusknoir, which doesn't really matter. And I'm going to go get another burn on this thing, like, go get a burn on this thing, as he, I don't know, roosts off the little damage that he had on him, so that's that. He tries to Toxic me again, probably predicting me to switch into something. My Shadow Punch does 7%, and he's basically back to where he started with the leftovers game, but then Burn whittles him back down, but he roosts. I predict the roost and go for an Earthquake. It only does 15% anyway, which is pitiful damage on this thing, so I'm going to get out of there. I think I go into Meganium, because Meganium can take a U-turn from it easily. It doesn't mind the Toxic, because Toxic is, you know, nothing to poor little Meganium, so my NU against some RUs, that's not really that big of a deal, but yeah, my Meganium sets up a Leech Seed on the switch, and just to get health back, and this is, yeah, just what happens. So I go for the Aromatherapy, kill my poison, so he goes for his own Aromatherapy, which is, you know, that's chill. So I'm getting way more health than he is, yeah, because I have the Leech Seed up and shit, but Meganium doesn't have access to Wish, which kind of sucks, but Leech Seed makes up for it because of residuals and stuff. I go for the Giga Drain just to kill it off, but he goes for Protect, which is a good play, so now he's back to over half health, but with the Leech Seed he's below half now. So he goes into the Mandibuzz. I predict that go for a Toxic, and his Mandibuzz is like dead now, so yeah, fuck you, Mandibuzz. I don't like you, you look retarded. So I just set up a Leech Seed on it to stall it out, and that's basically what's going to happen, because it can't really do anything to me. And in the comments, like in the chat, he's like, "This is no fun, lol, it's just a stall war," and yeah, that's basically what it is. So he whirlwinds me out into Dusknoir, and Dusknoir is a piece of shit, and he can't do anything. I probably actually could have finished it with a Shadow Punch if I stayed in, but I didn't. So he's just gonna die from the Leech Seed damage. I'm gonna stay in with Meganium, because Meganium is not afraid at all of this Clefable, despite it having Ice Beam, because I take its Ice Beam like a boss, because Meganium is a defensive monster. So I just go into Prime Rape to, you know, I didn't expect him to, I expected him to Protect, but he didn't, so I take an Ice Beam not that well, but I get Leech Seed back. I go for the Close Combat, finish off his Clefable, and that is game. So GG, Yummbunnies, he's a pretty cool guy. He's got a video of me up, so yeah.